morning, in a newly filed lawsuit, 3 black men are suing American Airlines. They allege company employees appeared to remove all of them from a flight over a complaint about body odor. First on CBS Mornings, the men are telling their story to our Chris Van Cleave.
We're the only ones getting taken off the plane. Look at this.
This video at the center of a newly filed lawsuit against American Airlines appears to show a number of black men after they've been removed from a flight allegedly due to a complaint about offensive body odor.
So this is discrimination.
The lawsuit claims as Flight 832 from Phoenix to New York was finishing boarding in January, American employees removed 8 black men from the plane. They were not traveling together, weren't seated next to each other, did not know each other, and appeared to be the only black men on the flight, according to the suit filed early this morning.
As I got my things and walked to the front of the plane and made a left to the jet bridge, I noticed that there was 7 other black men. And that kind of was like, okay, what's happening here?
For plaintiffs Emmanuel Jean Joseph, Alvin Jackson, and Xavier Veal, Flight 832 was a connection. They'd taken an earlier flight from Los Angeles without issue.
It was just black men. So I started freaking out. I pulled out my phone to record everything.
At any point, did somebody from American say to any of you that you had an offensive odor?
No.
Hey, YouTube family. How you doing? This is Rhonda with Rhonda Loves Life. Thanks for joining me. All right, guys. Great to see you. It's been a couple of days. Sorry for the delay in recording videos. I've been incredibly busy with work, but I am glad to find time to check in with you guys. This is going to be a double header tonight. First of all, this video will be on the 3 black males who are suing American Airlines. That's right. So we're going to get into that. And you know that I shoot straight, pow, pow. I keep it real. I want to hear from you, and I want you to leave your comments in the chat. Also, the second video will be on my favorite couple, Harry and Meghan, the psychology of grifters. We want to discuss just how far these two have gone. Every couple of months, there's a different scheme, and they're grifting all across the world now and plan on doing world tours. So we want to get into the psychology of these two and how they are desperately trying to covet William and Kate. And will it work? And what's the next grift? All right, so check out both the videos. All right, let's get into this video. I have a clip for you of the gentleman and the incident that happened at American Airlines. It was a flight that was leaving Phoenix, Arizona, headed for JFK International Airport. And I have to laugh because it's so insane, so stupid. Let me give you the facts, and I'm going to share with you a clip that I got from CBS. This is fair use, YouTube, fair use. And also, I will add the link, so you can check out the entire video on your own and judge for yourself and leave your comments in the chat, because I read all comments. All right. So it looks like there are 3 black males that are suing, but the victims, there were 8 black males who did not know each other, who were not sitting together. They were just randomly selected because of the color of their skin, because someone complained about body odor. Now, American Airlines, this white male flight attendant, if I was these young men, they are suing, which I would sue, but then I would also sue that flight attendant, because anytime that you because this is suspicious to me, and I'm going to shoot straight to you. I'm going to shoot straight, pow, pow. I'm going to keep it real. How do you pull 8 random black men, just all black, off a plane? They don't know each other, and they're not even sitting together. You pull them off a plane because someone complained about body odor. Now, if it was just 1 or 2, you can get away with it. But 8, we all know what that is. And I hope these black males, besides wanting to just hug them, because I know I have black males in my family, they struggle sometimes in this world, not in the world, in this country, with racism. But we have come a long way as a country. And I'm hoping these young men will realize that not all of America's like this. They're not. Human beings are flawed, and some are really more flawed than others. I compare it to Animal Kingdom. There are predators out there, just like when you think about serial killers, and I mean, it's the extreme, but then you got people who are just, it's bad breeding. That's what I attribute it to. Bad breeding. That you're going to judge me because I'm brown. So these men, whoever decided that it was a good idea to pull 8 black men off a plane because someone complained about body odors. Now, I travel often. I travel a good 6 months, 6 to 8 months out of the year now. And my travel, I love traveling. And you meet assholes, but I've never experienced nothing like this. But I'm also not a black male. And I think black men have it a little worse than others. But let me just also say this and stress this point. I'm glad that they are suing. But they got to remember also is that there's a lot of good in the world. And not everybody is just a racist animal. Not everybody's like that. And we also got to realize that we're not the only ones that suffer oppression or discrimination. So when it happens to us, we do all that we can to shine a light on it, which I'm glad that everybody's got cameras. We can see it with our own eyes and our own ears. But we also have to make sure that we stay mindful that there is discrimination and bigotry that's happening to other people too. I mean, because when I travel, I look for that. Like I look at different cultures because I consider myself a global citizen. So when I look at discrimination, I see discrimination not only with blacks, but there could be discrimination. There's discrimination in different countries. You go to India, there are discriminations against the darker versus the lighter ones. Even if you go to South Africa, I hear that lightening cream is basically bleaching cream. Is it South America? Is it South Africa or is it Nigeria where the bleaching cream? I know it's in India too. My point is that there is so much. You got people who think of the LGBTQ community and imagine walking in their shoes. Or imagine being someone who's obese or someone who's disabled or someone who's, like handicapped. Or you talk about religious, but Jewish people. The human beings are so flawed and fucked up. But we're all flawed, but some of us are worse off than others. And you have to when that happens, you have to shine a light on it, sue that ass, sue all of them, and just realize that also that I hope it doesn't stop them from traveling and seeing the world. Don't let that stop you, because there are a lot of beautiful people in the world too. There are more decent people in the world than there are rotten apples. And whoever did that, decided to do that, though they were that's a breeding issue. They were bred wrong. Anytime you go through life and you look at a person's skin and you say, oh, I don't like that group because of the color of their skin, or I don't like that guy or that girl because she's gay, or I don't like that person because they're Jewish and not Christian, or I don't like that, it's like or I don't like that person's too fat. We really tear each other apart as human beings. And that is so sad. But I have learned, I'm telling you guys, in all my 57 years, I've met some animals in my lifetime, But I can honestly tell you, I've met more beautiful people than those animals. It's just that those animals cause a lot of trauma and destruction. We can't let that consume us, though. And I hope those 8 beautiful black males, young black males, I hope they chalk this up to bad breeding, ignorance. Go sue that ass, sue American Airlines, because these companies, you got to be careful about who your employees are, because it comes from the top down, and realize that you're going to be at risk. Stop it with that. That's ignorance. That's ignorance. So don't let that consume you. Just look at it and just say, hey, because if you're going to live in this life long enough, you're going to run across some bad apples. You're going to run across some animals. So what you do is you chalk it up for what it is. Do what you can to make it right by suing that ass and getting that money. And then, and the media, it's all out in the media now because we all got cameras. But realize, open yourself to the world and realize that there are really more good people than there are bad. And also stay mindful that discrimination and bigotry, all of that, we're not the only ones that suffer from it. We have company. There are other people in the world that are suffering just as much. And if we can open our eyes and see their suffering and, and just kind of bow our head and humble ourselves and say, hey, I see you too. Because we only got one life, people. That's it. One life. All right. So I hope you guys get something from this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. And I want you to check out, I play a clip right at the end of this video. If you want to see the entire clip, check out the link in the description. I want to thank you for watching. I'll chat with you soon. Love you. Ciao. Mwah.
The connection. They'd taken an earlier flight from Los Angeles without issue.
It was just black men. So I started freaking out. I pulled out my phone to record everything.
At any point, did somebody from American say to any of you that you had an offensive odor?
No.
The lawsuit claims over the course of about an hour, the men were kept in the jetway and then moved to the gate area where they were told they'd be rebooked on another flight to New York later that day, and alleges an American employee indicated the complaint about offensive body odor had come from a white male flight attendant. A gate agent seen in the video at one point seems to agree race was a factor in the men getting pulled off the flight.
Just because of the color of my skin. Okay.
I do not disagree.
But when another flight to New York couldn't be found, they were put back on the same plane.
Had to go back on the plane with everybody looking at us, for me, very uncomfortable. Everybody staring at me. Me and all the other black people on the plane were just taking off.
I knew that as soon as I get on that plane, a sea of white faces were going to be looking at me and blaming me for their late flight of an hour.
Their lawyer, Sue Huta, says American declined to give her clients any answers about what happened in Phoenix.
It's almost inconceivable to come up with an explanation for that other than the color of their skin, particularly since they didn't know each other, they weren't sitting near each other. It seems fairly apparent that race was part of this dynamic.
The lawsuit cites other recent incidents where passengers have alleged being discriminated against by American and a 2017 NAACP travel advisory urging members not to fly the airline. It was lifted about 8 months later.
We were discriminated against. The entire situation was racist.
Do you think if you were anything other than a black man, this would not have happened?
If I was a white person, it probably wouldn't have happened.
I think they would have walked past like the other white passengers that were there.
CBS legal analyst Ricky Kleeman.
The plaintiffs may really have no interest in money, and they may have a sincere interest in making a public statement about racial discrimination by a major airline.
Is this kind of case a tough one to win at trial?
The question at trial really is about what are the protocols of American Airlines. And they better have some, and they better have done something with these particular employees in terms of discipline after this action.
American Airlines tells CBS News it takes all claims of discrimination very seriously and says in a statement, our teams are currently investigating the matter as the claims do not reflect our core values or our purpose of caring for people. The lawsuit seeks unspecified damages. Nate?